That's fine. Yeah, don't worry. Just.
Alright, so when you're ready, we'll roll it.
Okay, cool. So I'm back this week, and there are two things that I'd like to do in front of the camera. I'd like to bring to you. One is a speech from a person called Mohammed Al Khadra, and I'll get into that in a second. And the other thing I want to do is give you my top 10 most evil, wicked, and unjust things that Mohammed ever did.
Content over everything!
And so, that's probably the more spicy one. That's probably the one that pricked your ears more. So I'll give a quick rundown of that, and then we'll get on to the speech by Mohammed Al Khadra. So just very quickly, say you don't need to wait till the end to hear what the number one is. It goes, number 10, Mohammed reneged on his promise to his wife and fornicated with his slave girl. Number 9, Mohammed flirted with his adopted son's wife and then subsequently married her. Number 8, Mohammed told people to beat their wives, or beat wives they feared would be disobedient, after first advising them and then leaving them in their beds. Number 7, Mohammed let a murderer go unpunished. Number 6, Mohammed murdered a girl for insulting him. Number 5, Mohammed practiced torture. Number 4, Mohammed married and fucked a 9-year-old. Number 3, Mohammed attacked people who had never attacked him simply because they did not accept his religion. Number 2, Mohammed practiced war rape and slavery. And number 1, Mohammed killed 600 prisoners of war and enslaved all the women and children of the Banu Qurayza Jews. So that's what we'll get into, and I'll be showing the evidence for all those claims, demonstrating them. But first I'd like to give a little speech by someone called Mohammed Al Khadra. He's a Jordanian-American atheist and one of the founders of the atheist group of Jordan. I'm reading out this speech because I think it is a very important speech, and after hearing this speech I felt it was my duty to do something so that more people would hear it. So if you'll take my word on that, and you sort of trust me, then I'd advise that you pause this video right now and instead search on YouTube Mohammed Al Khadra, spelt A-L-K-H-A-D-R-A, and Mohammed Al Khadra, ex-Fundamentalist, gives great speech. To hear him give the speech himself. I'm Mohammed Al Khadra. One day, 4 years ago, I was becoming more and more Salafi, and I was believing in the caliphate, and having that caliphate be the greatest Muslim nation back again. And then, this man, Richard Dawkins, I found a YouTube video of him. And then I began to learn a little more. And then I woke up. To be able to wake someone up, that's what it stands for, to be out loud and proud. Because if Richard Dawkins wasn't, I wouldn't be here. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people in the same situation. To be out loud and proud is to give a chance to people who are in the closet to come out, and you give a chance to people to think. How do I know what I know? How do I know the earth is round? How do I know about the theory of evolution? There's someone that says it's creationism. I need to find out. This debate, this reasoning with people, you can't have that while you're hiding. I know a lot of people here are open, but to be open in the Middle East is something else. In August 2016, Mated Hattar, a journalist, he's an atheist, he published a cartoon about the god of ISIS. It showed that this is what jihadists look for in heaven. The whole government was calling for, everyone in the country was calling for the government to get him, to take him in. And they did. And after getting him, while he was going up the stairs to the courthouse, he was shot to death on the 25th of September 2016. This is the con. This is the major con for being out. Death is what we're fearing. But the problem is, and what's the saddest thing is, I have seen that these 2 days is that Mariam Namazi said that there's a tsunami coming at the opening of the conference, a tsunami of atheism. And yes, a tsunami is coming. But it's coming from us, the ones on the front line. But here, in London, you guys are losing. Yesterday at night, I had a small paper that said, "Awesome without Allah." And we left here, and we went to have dinner. An ex-Muslim girl with me at the conference grabbed the paper and took away that sign. And I asked her why. And she said, because there are Muslims next to us, and we might get in trouble. This is in London. This is in the 21st century. This is in a free world. Where are your priorities? While we die, you're all thinking about Islamophobia? People are getting put to death because of this fascist, theocratic religion, and all you think about is, how can we give them more space? And how can we give them more rights? Let me tell you something. Islam is very powerful. It is super powerful. It has the oil, the money, the countries, but here it is a small minority that needs special rights, Sharia courts. I asked a lot of you outside, why do you have faith schools? If I had a school that teaches a political system to children to kill others, would it be okay here in the UK or in the States? Why do you have schools to brainwash children? Why do you have schools that will bring up extremists? Why do you have schools that teach children that I should be put to death? I have to live every day as a target and be okay with it and live with it. And if I say a word, and if I say Islam is bad, I'm an Islamophobe and I should shut up. And this is it. What is the most extreme things that atheists did? And yet we hear debating about, is it okay to curse at Islam or not? Is it okay to draw Muhammad or not? We should be more tolerant. Yeah, we can be more tolerant. Would the other side be more tolerant? Would the other side give us what they are claiming? If Islam is the most powerful force in England, would it give you the rights that you are giving them? And I'm not asking you to take away the rights of religion, but I am asking you to face the tsunami that's coming to you and to encourage the tsunami of atheism that we are doing. By facing them off and by saying, no, I can leave, and I can say that there is no God, and I can believe in evolution, and I can discuss with science anytime I want and with anybody I want. This is the major con. There is a small one. I can lose my civil rights against me in Jordan. I don't care. And the pros? We try at the atheist group in Jordan to help each other and to stand with each other. I know there are like 100 or something, and it's a small number, but to reach that after nobody was knowing anybody face to face, that's enough for me. And to have this number grow up every day in hundreds is enough for me. But being out is being able to speak and to be who you are. So if we think about which is better, the cons or the pros, I would definitely pick the pros. Why? Because you can never live with yourself. Anybody, you can't live with yourself if you just choose to be quiet. And this is what you are doing. You're being quiet while we are not. And look at what we're having to give and what you are giving. You're giving your freedom and we are giving our life. Don't give up the things that you have. You have the freedom of speech. Use it. You have the freedom to offend. And somebody here said a few hours ago that apostasy is not a part of Islam. And I would like to say that if apostasy is not part of Islam, then how come all the deaths and all the butchering of us that has happened? And by doing this, by saying, Islam, yeah, we'll take this part out, we're doing something very harmful. We're taking the gun and cleaning it off the hand of the murderer, and we're putting it in someone else's hand, and we're saying, it's politics, or we're saying, it's despair. If it's despair is what causes terrorism, there has been a lot of despair for a lot of people in a lot of places in the world. This is obvious. The dogma itself causes this, and you need to fight it. Okay. I know you're secular people, you're free thinkers, you're humanists. You don't want to harm Muslims, but you need to fight the religion. I don't care about the names. All I hear from the Council of Ex-Muslims is Islamist and political Islam. And we're trying not to face the fact that it is Islam itself that is the cancer. So that's the speech given by Mohammed Al Khadra that I wanted other people to hear. And I'm not personally an atheist, I'm agnostic.
ContentCOE everything from your Fundamentalist.
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
And so I recommend that Leon maybe cut this into 2 pieces because this is going to be a slightly longer presentation. But I want to follow on from this speech and say that in Britain we have a very valuable and wonderful right, and that's freedom of speech. People in most parts of the world do not have this right, and yet we are living here often, and we take that right for granted. How shameful is it that there are people in Muslim-majority countries being killed for stating why Islam is false, but many of us living here are afraid of doing the same thing because we're worried about being called Islamophobic? It's a stupid, made-up word that dishonestly attempts to equate criticism and mocking of an ideology with bigotry and hatred towards its followers. And so I think it's our duty to give a voice to those non-Muslims living in danger in Muslim-majority countries, and even those Muslims belonging to different sects and different points of view. And so as part of that, and also to challenge the idea that Muhammad is an excellent moral example to mankind, like it says in Quran chapter 33 verse 21, or even the best moral example to mankind for all times and places,